What's going on, y'all? Hope all is well. Another episode of Convos with the CFP, Mario Payne, and beautiful Jacksonville, Florida. Got my hair cut, got the waves spinning, so we are back. Before we start though, like, subscribe, and share our channel. Trying to get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. You gotta crawl before you walk. But you know, hey, 16 years of practicing, 10 years as a certified financial planner with a pretty nice size practice in Jacksonville. We're here to help. But today, man, you want to talk about back to the future. Last year was a rough year for the market. But just like with every investment cycle, good months, bad months, and yes, we had bad years like 2022. 2022 was the second worst year this millennium, not the first, another one. That was in 2008, of course, but the second worst. But this year, boing, man, has it bounced back. So we kind of go over the market, what we think it might do, what a quote unquote a bull market is, and how as investors it's not too late to invest. Now, of course, we want to be disciplined and diversified. We don't want to invest all our money in the market. We want to put some in the market, some fixed. We have cash accounts that's paying 5% right now, which is amazing. Might not last forever though, but definitely from a market standpoint, pretty cool time. But let's see what Yahoo Finance had to say. So from Yahoo Finance, stocks close higher as S&P 500 edge towards bull market. Stock market news today. Rub hands like Birdman. This is amazing. What is a bull market though? This is straight from investor.gov. Any information that you want to get, any definitions that you want to get, recommend this. This is from the SEC. My firm, Tones Financial, SEC registered because we manage well over $100 million in assets. But a bull market, a time when stock prices are rising. And market sentiment is optimistic, right? Being optimistic is always better than being pessimistic when you invest. Now, we don't want to buy at the top, which we'll talk about. You have what you call a contrarian investor. Warren Buffett, the wizard himself, the Oracle of Omaha, he is a true contrarian investor. When individuals are pessimistic, that's when he's optimistic. Hence why his fund has done so well over the years and why people call him the greatest investor of all times, right? So then when people are optimistic, people like him who are contrarian are pessimistic. They think that the market's too high. It might be time to take some profits. It's like buying a house. Buy a house for 100 grand. Now it's worth 150 grand. Might want to sell it, right? Look down the street. That house that was 100 grand is now 70 grand. Buy that. So when people are thinking good about things, you probably want to sell some off the top. When things are looking bad or people are thinking bad, probably the best to invest. And that, my friend, is a contrarian, and that's why Warren Buffett's so successful. But let's go back to the bull market. A bull market occurs when there is a rise of 20% or more in a broad market index over at least a 2-month time period. Meaning the S&P 500, which is the top 500 companies, the NASDAQ, which is mostly tech companies, the Russell 2000, which is the top 2,000 companies. Those indexes or pools of stock, if they're up by more than 20% or more, that, my friends, my profiteers, that is a bull market. And it appears the S&P is about to hit that bull market. Now the NASDAQ, another one. That's been in the bull market for a long time, actually, the past few months, which we'll talk about. It just goes to show, we watch the news, people are pessimistic right now, people investing optimistic. The market's been jumping since October from an up standpoint. Let's see what Yahoo Finance has to say. Here we go. U.S. stocks closed higher Tuesday as the S&P 500 advanced by 0.2%, NASDAQ 0.36%, and the Dow Jones as well, right? But if we look at this chart, look at the chart, right? Past month, look at that, the red, NASDAQ up 8.51%. This time last month, 100 grand, almost 109 grand. S&P 500, 100 grand, 103. Now, these are extraordinary returns. The S&P 500, its average over the course of a year for the past 50 years has averaged 9%. So from January to December 31st, on average, 100 grand goes to 109,000. So what a person made in the NASDAQ in 1 month, the S&P usually takes a year. So extreme optimism from an investment standpoint due to the Fed probably not raising rates, due to companies being better, due to hopefully the banking fiasco out of here, due to the debt ceiling agreed upon. All those positive waves has allowed the market to continue to grow. 6 months, as we can see, the NASDAQ, 20%. My profiteers, bull market. The NASDAQ, the tech stocks are in a bull market right now. More than 20% for more than 2 months. The S&P 500, 8.69%. And then, of course, the Dow that did favorably last year compared to the other indexes because it's more safe index, pushed along. Year to date, look at that, 26%, 11 and 1. But I want to go back to this. 5 years, right? We had a very tough year in 2022. Again, second worst year this millennium. Very bad. However, as we can see, over 5 years, not 1 month, not 1 year, not 3 years, 5 years, we do see some tractions. Even though we had COVID, where the market went down. Now, for the year, it was up in 2020, and we had 2022. So basically, 2 horrible time periods in 5 years. We look up, though, 72%. 100 grand, 5 years later, 172,000, not too shabby. S&P, 54%, 100 grand, 154,000, over 10% a year. So with all these crazy events that happened the past 5 years, the top 500 companies have done better this past 5 years than its average. Another good thing is that we have a while to go. A few events is going to determine what's going to happen in the market. Number 1, the Fed. The Fed cometh and taketh away. If the Federal Reserve pause rates, the market pretty good to the upside. Number 2, those politicians. As long as President Biden, Democrats and Republicans don't do anything crazy that's going to slow down or stop the economy, we should be in good shape for the second half of this year. Number 3, China. China, as long as they don't get involved with Ukraine-Russia war, and as long as they continue to open up their economy, we're going to see a lot more growth. Supply chain is going to continue to get better. More things will be shipped quicker. Gas will go down if that's the case. And if it does, we should also see the market go up. So those things happen to be positive. The Fed, the politics, the China. Then second quarter this year, going to be pretty good. Now, we don't know if it's going to be as good as the first quarter this year so far because it's been amazing. But we do know that if things continue like they are, we're going to have some happy investors next year. Because for the year, you would have made a nice bag. A nice bag. So, in totality, we want to be pessimistic when people's optimistic. So again, we might want to shift some of those gains, put it in cash if the market falls back a little bit. Buy, because the market doesn't go up every single day. We have good days and bad days. So you might want to think about money that you made, selling at the high, see if it's going to go down a little bit, buying low. Not recommendations, right? I do that for my 1,100 clients worldwide, but letting you know what you might want to do. And then also be like Warren Buffett. When people are scared and people are still afraid of the economy now, that's typically the best time to invest. When people are pessimistic, I want to be optimistic. When people are optimistic, I'm going to give you that side eye. Whatever eye that is, give you the side eye. But again, like, subscribe, share. My profiteers, it's been fun. Continue to invest during the good times and the bad. Long-term investing is a wave. As always, Let's make some painful profits together, y'all. Peace.
And you just wanna get paid, tired of making the money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late, yeah. Pay for profits to help you seek change, and you just wanna get paid, yeah. Tired of making the money mistakes. Make a payment on your bills and you still late, pay for profits to help you seek change, yeah. Cut the show and just listen. You wanna feel empowered by making money decisions. Residual by the hours can get you a better living. Bitch at the check, you knowing it could be different, you know.